Hi, I'm Stephanie Sage, President and CEO of Sage Restoration. Today I have a very special guest, Dr. Susan Harrison.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, I'm so appreciative that you showed up to do my spotlight today.
Thank you.
And I want to say congratulations. You just won an award.
Yes.
Woman of the Year by the American Business Awards.
Yes, that's right. It was very exciting to get that.
Yeah, I bet. That's
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love winning awards. It gives you that confidence boost.
Just that little extra that you need.
Exactly, exactly. So you started out your career basically as a speaker, right? You do specialize in speaking engagements?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I've done other things. I was in restaurant management, and I was a coach, not a coach, but I would be a trainer, a corporate trainer for Applebee's for a long time. I did some other things. I really loved the restaurant business, but my passion has always been speaking ever since I was in high school, and I discovered that love for forensics, and I just wanted to get out there. And so that was kind of my dream, and one day I'm like, you know what, I think I'm ready to do it, and I decided to contract with a major player here in Kansas City, and it just kind of went from there. And then I took off about 10 years where I was doing some other things, but I was continuing to speak now and then a few years ago I decided, you know what, it's my passion. I love it so much, and so it's time to just go full-time just with speaking. And so I speak to organizations and companies, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and then you speak about a variety of topics. I know today we're going to talk about managing stress. I can't imagine anybody in this world not having even an ounce of stress to deal with. But you're also a personal coach as well.
Yes, I coach people on public speaking. And that's mostly how I coach. I will do other coaching, but right now that's mostly what I do. And that's a lot of fun as well, but still my love is getting up there and speaking. So I speak on stress management, as you know, communication skills, building rapport with networking, or just building rapport, being more likable, that sort of thing. And I have some others as well that I really enjoy. One of them is the Positive Office, how to be more positive. I recently spoke for the USDA, in fact, and there was about 100 people in there, mostly men, and I spoke about the positive workplace. And it was such a blast. It had been a long time since I'd had a group of men that big that I
were that excited about
speak. Well, they're always excited when I speak. I'm just messing up. But it had just been a long time since I had done that. I've spoken to a large group of men like that, and it was just really fun. So yes, there's a variety there.
Yeah, because it's very important keeping the workplace positive. Because I mean, you're there every day, and you want to enjoy where you work. So
absolutely,
only imagine. And then you're also an author?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I have a couple of different books, or a few different books, but my latest is on stress management for the busiest woman. Okay. And right now it's available on Kindle, on Amazon, but they can also people go to my website and check it out. But I've gotten a lot of great feedback from that, and I spoke for a group just yesterday where they're like, we've read your book and we love it so much, we're going to buy it for everyone here, and they just, it has a lot of my humor in it, so maybe you would enjoy it too.
Yeah, I know I would.
I'm going to get you a copy. Okay.
And yeah, because I've had to learn to manage my own stress, just running a business, and many women, they take care of the family, have a lot of extra things to deal with. Not that men don't either, but do you think women in general wear a little more hats in addition to their career or running a business?
Absolutely. In fact, I will tell you that my daughter came home the other day and she said to me, or maybe it was on the phone, but anyway, she said to me, why is it that women work and men work, but women still have to come home and take care of the whole house and cook and do everything?
Right.
Wow.
Why is that?
Why is that? And she said, that is not what I want. I want it to be more equal. And so I thought that was very interesting. And I find that in a lot of relationships that my friends have, they do have the men that will cook and they will clean, but it still seems like the majority of everything that goes on at the home, in most homes, not in all,
Right. Yeah.
that it's still, a lot of it falls on the women. And I think part of that is because we take it on ourselves.
Right. I was just going to say, you read my mind. I was just thinking that. And I think as I've matured in my life, personally and professionally, I've had to learn to make choices and not feel guilty about I'm letting somebody down, or because you only have so much time in your day, and is that part of maybe the stress management where you have to make choices or you're going to go insane? You can't do it all.
Well, you made me think of something huge, and that is that we are still deep down people pleasers, and some of you women right now are saying, that's not me, I'm not a people pleaser.
I think we all are.
But a lot of us are, and what happens is that we try so hard to make sure that everything goes well and everyone is happy, that we overextend ourselves, which comes in the stress.
I never would do that, ever.
And then we also, we can't blame it all on men, because a lot of times I have found, and I've done this in the past, is that a man will do something, but it's not quite to our standards. So then we say, no, I'll do it. So I remember being on the phone one day. This was many years ago when I was married, and when I was pretty newly married, and I was talking to my aunt on the phone, and I was putting away dishes, and I said to her, oh my gosh, why can't he just put the dishes away where they go?
Like, oh, I want them
You
to
feel
be.
me?
I think Alan's peeking around the corner. He's
my-
leaving the room.
He's like, this is my cue. And what she said to me was such a gem. She says, but don't you think that's a small thing? Isn't he at least doing it? And I went, and a light bulb went off in my head, and I just started changing things, and I stopped caring where things went, because he was an active part in what was going on. So I think that was very beneficial to me.
Yeah, it's just learning, like I said, healthy balance, and that's hard to do when you're a perfectionist and you want things a certain way.
Absolutely.
Type A personality.
Yes, and we do not have to do it all ourselves. And we can
learn to delegate.
Yes, learn to delegate. And some things we can let go. They don't really need to happen.
Right. It's a lot of it's in your mind. Like I always say that, like power is all just an illusion. Really, when you think about it, or control and power. I mean, you have control over a situation. You think you do, but sometimes you don't. Even over yourself on days.
Absolutely.
I mean, it can be.
I don't know what you mean at all. I'm always in full control.
So, what are some tips you can give the audience? And I want to, if anybody's watching that has questions, go ahead and type away. And I know Dr. Susan would be happy to answer any questions you have. But what are some, I guess, tips that you can give busy professional women or men, to manage the stress in their lives?
Well, one thing is make sure that you make time. Actually, schedule fun.
Yeah, I'm a workaholic, so I'm guilty of that.
I am speaking to you, okay? I'm speaking to you right now. Forget everyone else. This is for you.
I just get my own advice on my own show. It's awesome.
That's right. That's the way it should be, right? Your own show. Schedule some fun. Make a day where it's like, all right, here's something fun that I really enjoy. So let's say that you really enjoy playing a game of Uno. You haven't done that in years. Play a game of Uno. Maybe you like to paint. You're not a great artist. You might be, I don't know. You're not a great artist. I'm not a great artist, but I love to paint. I love to have a canvas in front of me, and I just paint the picture, and there's no judgment. So schedule these times. Maybe you just want to walk around the plaza. Maybe you want to go running.
Read
That's
a book.
fun.
Read a
book.
Yeah.
Get in a bathtub. Something. But make that as a part of your week and schedule it. And if you do have a family at home, I recommend you have at least one family night a week so you can reconnect as well.
Exactly. That's important tips. So what other tips do you have then? Just
okay, so another thing is be positive. Start looking at things from a positive lens. I will give you an example. I've programmed myself to be positive.
I've learned to do that too. I don't like negative thoughts. I will push them away. And always try to think positive thoughts. It helps immensely.
So there
was
a
mindset.
It is, and let's definitely talk about this.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I went out of town for a funeral. And it was this kind of run-down town. And as I drove by these houses, you could tell they were once gorgeous, just gorgeous houses. And so I said to my sister who was with me, I said, look at these houses, you can tell they used to be gorgeous. Well, when we get to the funeral, people are talking about how dilapidated the houses are.
Run down.
And she says, but you know, that is not what you said. You looked at it in a positive way.
Right.
I didn't even think of it. I did not even think, oh, I'm going to look at this positively. But that is because I got to the point where I had programmed myself enough to be positive.
Exactly.
So do you want to know how I did that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. 'Cause you always are working on that.
Yes.
Getting the negative thoughts out of your mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
To lower that stress. Well, I actually was always very positive and always told that. One day, a friend of mine called me and we were chatting and he's like, Susan, you are so negative. And I'm like,
What?
exactly.
Me?
I'm not ever negative. People always have the most positive person they know. It can't be me. Well, afterwards, and this was 15, 20 years ago, afterwards I started thinking, you know what, he might be right. And so I started really monitoring my thoughts. So here's what people should do. This is my recommendation. You take a week and you really monitor your thoughts and you don't say anything negative. So let's say you walk into a room and it's a little chilly. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, this room is cold, to anyone, you either put on a sweater or you go and ask someone if they can adjust the thermostat, but you never complain about it. You don't say it out loud. Not that that's wrong in and of itself.
Right.
But
it's the little things.
It is. And if you reprogram your brain with these little things, then you will find that you will become more positive because you are doing it on purpose. You're being intentional. Then you can go back to, once you are in this habit, you can go back to saying it's cold in here or whatever occasionally. But you walk into the office and traffic was horrible. You do not tell anyone.
Right. You're coming all grouchy about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a fight with your spouse. You don't tell anyone. You don't say anything that could be construed as negative for about a week. And then your thoughts are going to start changing. You're going to be really aware. And then you're going to be able to become more positive.
Well, and I think, too, what I found, especially with just starting my business 8 years ago and learning to think like this, I think it draws positive things to you to help bring good things coming your way. Do you have thoughts on that?
I feel like we
that energy, you're bringing the good, positive energy.
We bring positive in our lives when we are positive. When we are bringing that to other people, they're going to show that to us.
Right.
When we are positive, we are more likely to go for things that we want and feel good about it. We're going to step outside of our comfort zone.
Right.
We're going to do all of these things. So in that way, yes,
it just makes you feel
totally
better.
Believe that it just comes back to you.
Because it is easy, and I know we're probably all guilty of this, like things aren't going right in your life, you're depressed or down, and then it's harder to be happy for people. You know, or to be, like you said, positive towards good things, and you don't want to be like that.
Absolutely
But
not.
it is easy to get caught up in that, what's going bad in your own life. You know?
Yes.
So.
And then we also don't take time to be really thankful for what we do have.
Right, exactly.
And when you are thankful, and not just for the big things, when I teach, when I speak with groups, I talk to them about being thankful, but I say, okay, list 10 things, but you can't say anything about God, home, family, your job, car. I name these big things. They have to think of small things. For example, I am thankful I have a table to put my water on.
It is. It's awesome.
Right?
It's a little things.
Yes. So you have to learn to appreciate and be thankful
so
for
true.
all these things.
Exactly. That's an excellent point. I think we're going to talk about, I guess, the misconceptions about how women are viewed in business. Because I was telling you earlier before we started going live that I read that tweet that said, it had 3 famous women, they were featured in the story, and it said, ambitious women are still viewed as unlikable, and that's not just in America, but around the world. And I was like, come again? What? How can that be? Because I admire ambitious people, strong women, successful women, or people in general. And it kind of blew my mind that in today's world, I read that on Twitter. So what's your take on that?
I don't have one. I'm just kidding. Got to mess with you now and then. So I feel like it's complex. In one regard, women feel like still that they have to work harder. They have to do more to prove themselves.
Right.
And sometimes we put up more of a shield or a barrier so that way we do come across that way. But then also there's the opposite where we are viewed this way because we're threatening to someone, or because they're not used to it.
Right.
And so we're just gonna have to keep working at it.
Keep the momentum going.
We have to keep getting more women in power.
Yes.
More women in these high positions.
Exactly.
And that is the only way we're really gonna make these changes. It happens slowly, but we are making some strides. But it's still an issue. And one of the ways that we can be helped by this is, as women, we can help other women.
Yes, most definitely.
Oh my goodness, so many times when I have been on the road, I have heard, I hate working here because it's all women and all we do is backstab and gossip and da-da-da. We are always, it seems like, trying to drag other women down instead of lifting them up. So we need to start promoting
Most
each
definitely.
other and working well with each other. And if you've got a woman at work that you're thinking, she's kind of tough, I don't really like her, why don't you get to know her and see if you can support each other?
Right.
I really think that has a lot to do with our issues because we do not lift each other up enough.
Or it could just be a matter of your own self-confidence or lack thereof.
Absolutely.
So which goes back to the being positive and trying to do positive things with your life. And that also includes, I think, when I started a business is don't be afraid to ask for help. It's hard to do it alone, no matter what you're doing. Climbing the corporate ladder, building a business, what have you. But reach out, most definitely.
I love asking for help because I love also giving it. And to me, it's a partnership, and I love building partnerships with people. So I am perfectly fine with asking for help. It's so much so that I embarrass the people that I know sometimes, especially younger people. It's even in little things. And really, if you want to train yourself to be more confident or to learn how to ask for help in big things, you've got to learn how to do it in small things. So I was at the movies, and the movie actually hadn't started yet, but I was sitting there, and they brought my food. It was one of those.
I love those movie theaters.
Yes, I do too.
That's my fave.
And I was sitting there with food, but I don't have a napkin. They forgot to bring me a napkin. Well, a lady next to me had a stack of napkins. So I said, "Excuse me, could I have a napkin?" I actually think I said, "Are those napkins?" I don't know why, but she's like, "Yeah, they are." So she's like, "Sure," and gave me a napkin. I would say 99.8% people would never ask the person in a movie theater for a napkin. I went to a hotel and I was out of hairspray, and I was going to teach a seminar all day long. And so I really needed some hairspray. They didn't have any at the front desk. And so I walked out in the hall and I started listening. What do you think I was listening for?
Hairspray, go shh.
That might have been too subtle, but I like that. I was listening for either a hairdryer or a woman's voice.
Okay.
And so I hear a hairdryer and I knock on the door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can even recommend it for other people, but that's what I did. I needed something. Now, she actually didn't have it. She didn't have any hairspray. Right. But I felt so good after I did that. Because it's like I'm getting out of my comfort zone, showing my confidence, and I'm going for what I want.
That's crucial, getting outside of your comfort zone. Most definitely. Because you never grow. I feel like you'll never grow to that next level, achieve new things if you don't get out of your comfort zone. And it's tough sometimes. Like this was getting out of my comfort zone. Now, unlike you, I've always had a fear of public speaking my whole life. And when I started business 8 years ago, I was like trembling with fear. My heart was here just to do a 30-second infomercial. So I have come so far.
Yes, you have. You're doing great.
Thank you. But it's just pushing yourself to practice. My videos in the beginning weren't as good as they are now, but you get better with practice. But yeah, it's getting outside your comfort zone.
Do we have a moment for me to talk about comfort zone?
Yes.
I don't want to go over your time.
Yeah.
One of the things that I teach is that you need to get out of your comfort zone, but you need to do it every day.
Okay.
So you can't just make it for the big things. It's got to be in the little things, just like I mentioned.
Kind of like
my
the
two
Eleanor
examples.
Roosevelt quote said, "Do something that makes you uncomfortable every day," or it's one of her quotes.
I think that was by me. Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never known that was her, so. But I'm going to go with it. So do something every day. And it could be very small, where you're in a grocery store, and if you're a shyer, quiet person, which I am not, you could say hello to some. I know, it's hard to believe. Well, outside of the camera, I totally am. No. So saying hello to somebody at a grocery store, or asking for something at the grocery store. For me, the grocery store is a great place to practice confidence, because people don't typically know you. So you can get out there. I have this confidence walk that I teach, where it's like, you know what? I'm going to walk with purpose. I'm going to smile. I'm going to act like, hey, I'm supposed to be here. I'm going to keep my chin up. I'm going to be confident.
Body language says a lot.
Body language says a ton. And people will treat you according to your body language and how you come across. So that's big for me. So I still even will practice it. But you've got to get out of your comfort zone every day if you want to really be able to do it on those bigger things.
That's a good point. I'll have to make a point to do that
Thank
every
you.
day.
And quote me.
I will quote you. Oh man, so obviously you have spent years helping other people become more successful, a better version of themselves, what have you. Who has been your mentor who has given you a hand up? Because I always believe, I like to go back and thank the people that have given me a hand up, which is why I started this, was to bring on people traditionally that have helped me get my business started, and I've helped them, because I believe it's all about extending the olive branch, your hand.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me here, because you are helping me to get exposure, so maybe somebody out there might actually hire me to come speak. So
they should.
Thank you.
You are just a wealth of
valuable
information.
I really appreciate that. Here's my dollar. Wait a minute. I got it here somewhere. No, I'm out. I owe you.
Yeah.
Forgot the question. Just kidding. There are too many to probably name. I've had so many mentors. It's been wonderful. I meet women all the time in networking, and also whenever I go do workshops, who say, hey, I know someone. I can help you with this. Have you thought of this? And I take those and run with them.
Right.
Right now I have a great publicist, and her name is Cindy Rogers, and she is really awesome about making sure that I get that exposure. And then I have another publicist, Becky Wilson, who is the one who got me here.
Yes.
She is so good. She's so wonderful, and she is so good about making sure that other people see me and see what I do. She directs me to people, introduces me to people, and so I would say those two women have been super big as of this past year. But then there's just been so many throughout my life that have just helped me, and I hope that I'm returning the favor, because it's so important.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, do we have any questions out there, or I don't know if we have any.
We can make some up.
Yeah, we can make some up. We can talk all day here. And let's get back to, with the stress management, is life balance. We'll circle back to kind of where we began, because I think that is a huge challenge when you're a workaholic, or you're just like, when you run a business, you're working, I don't know, 50, 60 hours a week. A lot of people have little kids. Or for me, you have parents that are aging. You have to care for them from time to time, get them to, it's just, no matter where you are in your life, you've got a lot of other things going on.
Yes, and I think that sometimes the word balance can give us a little guilt, because it's like, my career's going great, but I'm not really doing this part. And you know what? For a season, that's absolutely okay. And you have to let yourself know it's okay. You know what? Right now, I don't have the full balance that I like. But you know what? I'm going to make sure that next week that I get some balance in this area. So for instance, there's a lot of weeks whenever I am just really busy speaking, but I want to make sure I call my mom, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't go see her, but I could give her a call, for instance. So I'm going to try to get that in when I can, but there's going to be times whenever it's like, you know what, I can't do this aspect of my life.
Right. But you don't feel guilty for it.
Right. That's the big part.
It just is what it is. It's the reality of the day.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So take that off your plate.
Yeah.
That you don't have to have full balance. But at the same time, someone such as yourself that's a workaholic, you have to set up boundaries for yourself.
I do. I taught my kids that. Healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
Dealing with people, because you're not always going to like everybody you work with, go to school with.
You work with your husband, so I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. We've achieved our healthy balance. We have our days, but you know what? In the beginning, it was tough. It was tough. Because, and when you're married, you're together 24/7. You live together, work together. But we had to learn who does what best and when to set those healthy boundaries. It is a challenge.
Yes. And that will help all the women and men out there about setting those boundaries.
Yeah.
Who does what best?
Yeah.
Sometimes you still have to take on the slack even if you don't do it the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
But oftentimes in life, we can delegate certain things. We may not want to, but we can. And we can get help in our daily lives as well. You know, you may, I know we're talking about business and life. So with business, there may be something that you do better and then somebody else does something better. You switch. So for example, organization. There are a lot of people out there that cannot organize their thoughts, their desk. So get some help. Get somebody from your office who loves to do that.
Yeah.
To come
I can't
in.
work if I'm just unorganized. It freaks me out.
You'd be a good person to help
Yeah.
somebody get organized.
Right. Exactly. So that is true. There are people that just literally are not good at with organization.
So get someone to help you instead of
Okay.
you trying to do it yourself. And that's a good switch off. Another one would be at home. A home example would be, no, I can't have somebody come to clean my house all the time. But maybe I can find somebody that's relatively inexpensive, that doesn't do everything, but maybe she'll come in and pick up once a week or once every 3 weeks or something.
Right.
And not all of us can afford that, but even just a little bit of help can help you.
Right, exactly. Well, you have just been an awesome guest, and
Thank you.
I've learned so much, and I definitely would like to talk to you about coaching me or helping me, and
Awesome. Well, I would
improving
love to.
myself. So there's always room for self-improvement.
Always.
You never cross the goal line.
You're never gonna reach it.
No.
It's The Climb. Wasn't that by Miley Cyrus?
That's one of my favorite songs.
Somebody else to do a famous quote from. There you go. Great way to end.
Yes, that was going to be one of my songs on the interview for the Women Who Mean Business.
Excellent.
It was going to be The Climb, because that's how I kind of pictured my life and start my business. And you always want to get over that mountain. There's always another one.
It's The Climb.
Yeah, but I went with Wide Open Spaces with Dixie Chicks.
Ooh.
That makes me think of my adventurous side.
Very
Never give up
good
on chasing your dreams either.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was
Yes.
so fun being here.
Well, thank you. And then if anybody that's watching wants to reach out to Dr. Susan Harrison, how do they go about that?
DrSusanHarrison.com.
Okay.
I would also love it if anyone would follow me on Facebook, Dr. Susan Harrison, and then also Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm on all of it.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to connect with you, girlfriend.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it. You have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.